towards the end of 2024, we are getting an influx of free cards in Marvel Snap. Here's the evidence. An awesome member of the Marvel Snap community, EK August, asked the developers in Discord whether they were bringing back Deadpool's Diner and whether it would have the same motif. The developer said it is coming back, it will have the same Deadpool's Diner theme, but crucially they're bringing it back every 2 to 3 months. They want to iterate on it and improve it. Now, how do you improve something? You practice it. So I think we're going to get Deadpool's Diner more frequently, certainly on the upper end of their estimate here, 2 to 3 months. I think, it looks like we're going to get it every 2 months. They also want to improve card acquisition. They've slightly improved the rewards recently with giving us 75 credits per day instead of 50 credits per day, and the recent addition of alliances too. But the biggest evidence by far is the data leaks. A massive shout out and thank you to Snap.fan, because they have found masses of new card names in the data, all of which can be assigned to a different season or a different season theme. If you look at this information that I've been pulling together, you can actually see the pattern from 2023 for which seasons had 4 weeks and which season had 5 weeks. You can exactly match and map to 2024. So if it continues to be the same, we will have a 5-week season in October, and then a 4-week season in November, and a 4-week season in December. The interesting thing is, guys, we've got more card names than there are slots available based on the current system of 1 new card a week and 2 new cards on the first week of each season. But you said free cards. That evidence only proves that we're getting more cards. Why are they free? Why are we getting free cards? So, first of all, they want to improve card acquisition. Releasing more cards that aren't free worsens card acquisition. It doesn't improve it. Second, Deadpool's Diner. Deadpool's Diner exists. We just had our first Deadpool's Diner and we were able to get a free card for it. All of my friends were pretty easily able to get Cassandra Nova. I think generally the player base, if you've engaged with it deeply, which is exactly what the developer said, if you've engaged deeply with the game mode, you can get Cassandra Nova easily. And I think that's true. Yes, it definitely got up to a rocky start. I think the communication around it was poor and it wasn't very well explained. But with a few tips, being careful, retreating sensibly, you can definitely get that free card. Another reason that we might get free cards as opposed to paid cards is maybe they want to teach players how to use a new mechanic or get familiar with a new mechanic. We've got a new mechanic coming to the game shortly, Activate. Maybe they're going to give us some free cards for that. They may also want to give us a free card to promote a film, a TV show, or another Marvel property. Those leaks, which we'll look at more in a minute, show a Marvel Rivals season at the end of the year. What better way to promote that than with a free card? And a final reason why a card might be free is if it isn't exciting. And I'll have an example of that in a minute as well. So, the cards, what actually are they? But first of all, let's talk about how content is leaked in Snap, because that is crucial to this conversation. We usually get leaks in this order. First of all, the card name appears in the data. The following month, we then get the card artwork. This is usually without the logo for the character. And then in the following month, we get the artwork of the card, we get the artwork of the logo, and we also know the release date as well because it shows up with like alongside some spotlight caches, and the awesome leakers do a great job compiling all of that information and it gives us a good idea. So that is the order. So in the latest patch, there was a massive influx of more card names in the game. And each of these names can easily be matched to themes for upcoming seasons. The upcoming themes for seasons are Spider-Man, Symbiotes, Asgard, and Marvel Rivals. And each of these new cards or new names that just showed up in the data can each be attributed to one. First of all, you got the Spider-Man season. There is an extra name that has appeared, which is Tombstone. I hypothesize that Tombstone... I've just called him Tombstone. Delete the video. I hypothesize that Tombstone is going to be a free card that is going to introduce us to the Activate keyword. Guys, these are just some custom card ideas. I don't know anything. You know, these won't come true, obviously. I'm just conjecturing, okay? Anyway, I propose that Tombstone could be a 1/2 activate, add this card's power to this location. Tombstone featured prominently in a recent Spider-Man storyline, which was all about like gang wars and territory, owning territory, controlling territory. Now, that is of course what you do in Marvel Snap. However, I think a literal interpretation of Tombstone's wanting to gain control of territory could be that he literally stamps his power on a location. And the fact that it's an activate means that whilst, yes, you can do something like forge into Tombstone and stamp that extra power onto the location, activate means you can do it any time, and it means that you could benefit from other effects, so maybe Blue Marvel, Ironheart, all of these effects which increase your power after you've played the card. Boom, you stamp it on there. Next up, there's 2 leaked card names for additional Life Foundation symbiotes. That's Lasher and Agony. These have to be in the symbiote season. The thing is, it doesn't make sense if these cards were for future seasons. Why are there extra names for so many cards that directly match all of the upcoming seasons? It doesn't make sense. We must be getting more cards. They've said they want to improve card acquisition, so simply a portion of these have to be free. They just have to. So my proposal for Lasher, in the context of all of the symbiote cards being for wildly different, all of the upcoming symbiote cards being for wildly different strategies and archetypes. You've got Toxin for bounce. You've got Misery is sort of like a destroy / on reveal hybrid, which is really nice. You've got Scream as anti-move tech. You've got Scorn for discard. These are very disparate archetypes. So I'm suggesting maybe Lasher could give a bit of support to High Evolutionary. As a 2/3, when you end a turn with unspent energy, add 1 power to the left and right locations. This is because Lasher, like his thing as a symbiote is that he's got like tendrils that he can lash out. So it's a bit like almost like a Mr. Fantastic situation. But this is a bit like a Cyclops. You end the turn, you get a bit of juice. And the other symbiote whose name has appeared is Agony. I've proposed Agony as a 4/7 ongoing. This card's power can't be reduced and enemy cards here can't gain power. This is because Agony is like, I don't know too much about the character, but she's like an acidic symbiote from what I understand. She can absorb acid, and so that's why I sort of suggested she can't have her power reduced. She can't be negatively afflicted. And she stops other people from gaining power. So she causes like the acid effect on them. Could be interesting. Let me know what you think of these in the comments below. Now, one of the things we said earlier is that maybe a card would be free if it wasn't exciting. Now, you could say, why would Second Dinner add cards that aren't exciting to the game? Sometimes they're just useful cards to have, or they're just cards that make sense to add to the game. And above all else, it makes sense to add a vanilla 7 cost card to the game. And I've proposed that for Ares, 7/15. That's all he does. Maybe that is the kind of thing that we would get as a free card. However, if he wasn't a vanilla, I've also proposed an alternative power for him as a 6/14. Massive. This is the god of war. And he's got an on reveal effect. Add a card from your opponent's deck to their side of this location, destroy it, and repeat until their deck is empty. So this is like Gladiator, but on steroids. I thought this was a really cool idea. I mean, if they've got Shang-Chi and they haven't drawn it, Ares is getting killed. But I just thought this was a cool idea. Obviously, he's got masses of power. However, you're potentially triggering loads of on-reveals of theirs. You are emptying their deck as well. I don't know. There's a lot of interesting stuff with this proposal. But finally, my last custom card suggestion of this video, and possibly the last free card that we'll get this year. I mean, actually, we've got Marvel Rivals season after this, but we don't know which cards are coming out when on the Marvel Rivals season yet, so I haven't speculated on that. Anyway, this is Laufey. 4/5. Is that how you pronounce his name? Loki's biological father, right? He's a 4/5. Ongoing, you can't draw cards. This is because he opens the, what's the bloody freezing box called? Is it like Chest of Eternal Winters? It's something like that. He freezes your deck. And then, at the end of your turn, gain +4 power if you didn't draw a card. He locks you out of your own damn deck, but he gets very strong and very powerful for doing so. So, in summary, we are definitely getting free cards. We just have to be. They want to improve card acquisition, and all of these new names have flooded into the game data mere moments after we get Deadpool's Diner and our first free card in a very, very long time. We're definitely getting more Deadpool's Diner, and we must be getting more cards somehow. I'm proposing that they'll be free. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.